they've named the new lineup. This is Stuff, who came to the rescue of Newshub, or Newshub News, not in fact the whole company. Oh no. Samantha Hayes will be the solo presenter. I'm not surprised. I actually thought they might have gone with Tova O'Brien, who of course is their political editor there. However, Samantha is the well-known face of the brand, so she will be presenting alone on Stuff's new TV Bulletin. They'll be joined by 6 other Newshub journos when the operation launches on the 6th of July. They are keeping Jenna Lynch, Laura Tupou, Ollie Ritchie will be their sport, I gather, Juliet Speedy, Zane Small and Heather Keats, who is the weather lady. I'm right there. They're among a group of new hires. Now, remember earlier this month it was Warner Brothers Discovery that confirmed plans to shut down Newshub, including its website and all TV shows, by the 5th of July. A week later, WBD and Stuff held a very smiley joint press conference to announce that they would provide a daily news bulletin to run on TV3 from the 6th of July. So is it just rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic? Let's get the thoughts of one man who, well, gosh, he's been in the industry a very long time. He was the former Newshub head of news and is the co-editor of Newsroom, Mr. Mark Jennings. Mark, good afternoon.
Yeah, hi, Leah.
I'm not surprised by Samantha. I mean, you would have heard me saying I thought maybe Tova might have got it. But then, they're kind of sticking with the tried and true.
Yes, they are, and I think that's a very deliberate ploy on their part to keep that kind of familiarity for the viewers. They don't want to scare the horses too much. They have made a bit of an interesting selection, though, in the sports presenter. Ollie Ritchie, he doesn't have a presenting track record as such. He's a capable reporter, but he's a bit of a new face in that lineup. And he'll be sandwiched, if you like, between Sam Hayes, and Heather, the weather presenter. So it's still a very traditional feel about it. When, I thought they would try to do something a bit different, which they, as you said at that smiley press conference, they indicated they were looking to go down a new track. But in fact, what we're seeing really is them sticking with a fairly old track, a sort of traditional formula, if you like.
Yeah, well, because, Mark, this could have been the perfect opportunity to really, really go another way. I mean, we understand, and, I mean, you're on the platform, where we've said, that go woke, go broke. There's no difference here, is there?
No, there doesn't seem to be any real difference. That's correct. When they talk about technological change, I'm really interested in that because so far I've seen no sign of it, and they won't explain anything more about that. And I think if they mean, going on TikTok or something like that is change, well then that'll probably be a bit disappointing. One of the things we've seen so far, I think, is they've announced 10 names, but they'll need to hire quite a few more because there's a lot of moving pieces to television news programs.
Yeah,
and they will
very different
need,
from. Sorry, Mark. Very different from radio,
right.
From print. Right, TV's a different beast. It's different to radio. It's different to print. And I'm not sure if Stuff really understands this yet. I mean, they've appointed a few production people that were at Newshub to run their video operations and technology. But, when I was at MediaWorks for years, we held up Newshub for a long time. And it looks like Stuff's willing to, hold them up as well?
Well, I think what we don't know, of course, is what Warner Brothers Discovery is actually paying Stuff in terms of a fee.
That's true.
But so they will have some money to play with. But my feeling is that it won't really be enough to do the job in a traditional sense, and that's where it's going to get tough. I mean, one of the things that you we've seen this presenters line up, but you need to have backup fill-ins or backups for all of those people.
Yes.
So Laura Tupou will probably be Sam's backup. But, there'll need to be a backup to Ollie Ritchie, the sports guy, and there'll need to be a weather presenter backup. And then you almost need backups to those people. So this is where it gets complicated. You need to have a really good mix of skill sets available to you, and you constantly need to be developing people that can step into these roles, because a lot changes in a year.
It does.
That's for sure.
And the last thing you want to do, Mark, is it to look like, it's held together by bubblegum and dreams when these people are sick or they need, or there's a major, another Cyclone Gabrielle. They're not going to have people. Who are they going to have to send out to these places?
No, that's where they're going to have to rely on stuff reporters. And that's, I guess, the challenging part, isn't it? When, if you've never done a radio story, for instance, or you've never done a television story, you're suddenly plunged into that. And it is hard, It takes years to get good at these jobs. And I think the challenge here is that you will be up against TVNZ, and you will be constantly compared to TVNZ, because that's what viewers, News Hub viewers have come to expect, really. So, it's going to be pretty interesting, those first few months for them.
Mark, do you think they'll be able to use, you might not know this one question too many, but will they be still using the same premises where they are now in Flower Street?
Definitely, they will absolutely have to begin with.